Hi, this is Jeff Rosenkranz, Fixed Income Portfolio Manager with Shelton Capital Management, here to talk with you today about three things: interest rates, supply and demand, and holiday shopping. First, let's talk a little bit about interest rates. They've been grinding higher here as the Fed has pretty clearly signaled that they're going to start tapering as soon as November. What has really caught people by surprise, I think, is how quickly that taper process actually could be completed by mid-2022 to allow the Fed to get going on raising rates in late 2022 or early 2023 if it sees fit. The way we like to think about why rates are moving up and what else is going on in the economy is by framing things in terms of supply and demand. Right now, we've got a persistent strength in demand and a shortage of supply across a variety of measures. First is labor. Companies need to hire, but they're unable to find sufficient quality candidates. Many millions of people are at home caring for children that are not in school or loved ones who are sick. Eventually, they will come off the sidelines and back into the labor force. But for now, there's a shortage of labor, but a persistent need for demand, and that's pushing wages higher. And just look around in the real world, businesses all over the place have help wanted signs. Companies that we talk to on a regular basis talk about how hard it is to hire sufficiently, and you're seeing it in the wage data as recently as this morning's jobs report. Second, there's a shortage of energy around the world. Companies over the last few years have underinvested in exploring for new energy. At the same time, ESG concerns have really increased the cost of capital for oil and gas companies around the world. And so they haven't been exploring as much. There's less supply, but demand has actually recovered all the way back to pre-pandemic levels. A lot of people are avoiding mass transportation, choosing to drive instead. Traffic is as bad as it ever has been. And so again, you have a demand problem versus a supply crunch. Energy prices are moving up. Europe has an energy crisis. China is cranking back up coal plants very shortly after saying they were going to stop producing as much coal to try and clean up the environment. But there's a heating emergency this winter, and so they're starting back up their coal plants. So you can see this problem around the world, and that's going to increase costs for companies as well. Inventory and intermediate goods. There's a shortage of these as well. Microchips is affecting the ability to produce cars, products that typically are produced in Asia. Those countries have not made as much progress on vaccination. And so many of those countries are effectively locked down and not able to produce many of the goods that ultimately end up in Western countries, either as intermediate products or finished goods. And so it's really leading to a shortage of product, whether it be cars, appliances, furniture, electronics, clothing, and you're going to see it this holiday season. So that brings me to my final point: holiday shopping. On a personal level, I suggest you get out there and get your shopping done early, because there's not going to be enough merchandise on the shelves. And then check back late in the season in November to see if some late arriving goods finally made it on those containers or ocean freighters or airplanes and the product got to the shelf. So check back late to supplement what you've done, but start early. Now here at Shelton Tactical Credit Fund, we're agnostic to what's going on in interest rates. We think the fund can perform well in any interest rate environment because we hedge rates, but this rise in interest rates is starting to trigger outflows out of mutual funds and selling pressure. So we're ready to do our holiday shopping as well. We've built a list of companies and municipal bond issuers that we think are performing well, and we're ready if rising rates continue to put selling pressure on these bonds so that we can add at attractive prices and into higher yields. We'd be happy to discuss any of these things and anything else that you're paying attention to in the fixed income markets. Reach out to your Shelton representative. Thank you very much and have a great holiday season.